I'd say the cookie by itself, 8 out of 10. You add the Anabutter on there, and it's 9.5 out of 10. If you like Anabars and you haven't tried the Anabutter yet, you're gonna like this. Welcome back to the Anabolic Hub, where we make anabolic deliciousness. We're back inside my kitchen today, and we're doing another original recipe, protein cinnamon toast crunch cookies. This one is fantastic. If you like cinnamon toast crunch cereal, and if you like cookies, and if you like Anabutter or cinnamon toast crunch cereal, you are going to absolutely love this recipe. It is definitely going to be ideal for any shredding plan, any main gaining plan, and definitely any weight loss plan. So, with no further ado, let's get things started by having a look at the ingredients. Here we go. All-purpose flour, vanilla-based casein protein powder, swerve, granular, baking powder, ground cinnamon, the one ingredient to rule them all, salt. I can't believe it's not butter, a light one. Egg whites, vanilla extract, unsweetened almond milk, Anabutter white chocolate cinnamon swirl crunch, swerve. Confectioners. This is another one of those magical recipes where we're mixing together some dry ingredients, we're mixing together some wet ingredients, and we're combining the two for some anabolic deliciousness. So let's get things started here by mixing together our dry ingredients first. First dry ingredient is going to be 180 grams of our all-purpose flour. Then we need 66 grams of our vanilla-based casein protein powder. Don't use whey, casein only. Whey bakes terrible, casein bakes great. Use casein, vanilla-based, 66 grams, going in. Then you need 40 grams of your swerve granular. 4 grams of baking powder, not baking soda, baking powder, 4 grams. Then 8 grams of cinnamon. And the last dry ingredient here, 4 grams of salt. And after you have all your dry ingredients in the bowl, the next step is to mix or sift them all together. And as always, don't sleep on the sifting. I know it's a little bit tedious, and I know I'm using a dinner fork, but you can use a dinner fork too, and it comes out marvelous, way better, gets all of that baking powder mixed in with all of our other dry ingredients to give you a nice, even bake. Dry ingredients done. Next, move on to the wet ingredients. First wet ingredient is going to be 28 grams of the I can't believe it's not butter, the light one, or any light butter. 28 grams, we're gonna put it into a microwave safe container, soften it, and put it into our large mixing bowl. And through the magic of editing, we are back with our softened butter, skipping the microwave part, but trust me, it's been done. Then we need 120 grams of our liquid egg whites. Then 8 grams of the vanilla extract. And finally, 165 grams of the unsweetened almond milk. And after you get all your wet ingredients in there, the next step is to mix them all up. And once you have one nice uniform color, you are good to go. We will now mix in our dry ingredients in 3 separate batches. Batch number 1, batch number 2, and of course, batch number 3. And once you've mixed until you think you've mixed enough, and then you've mixed some more, you should have this type of consistency. You are now ready to start forming your cookies, 8 total. And as a side note, if you're not using my exact same casein protein powder, you may want to add in 50 grams initially, mix it, and then add in 25-gram increments until you get something that looks like this. But I digress. Having said that, we are good to go here. We're gonna get our cookie sheet covered with parchment paper and start forming out the cookies. And here we are, cookie sheet ready to go with the parchment paper. Been feeling less messy these days, so I'm going to be using the fingertip method into the water that I have here off to the side. It's gonna help keep our hands clean. I'm gonna try not to forget, because when you do, the dough does get a little sticky, so I recommend doing this. Or if you wanna get a little bit messier, you can always spray your hands with some nonstick cooking spray. Little Mr. Miyagi action going there. I'm using, like I said, fingertip dip method, so let's get it going. I'm going for 8 cookies total here. That's what you're looking at there for your cookie. And as you can see here, even the water method, it's not foolproof. You still get a little dirty. And as always, shaping the cookies requires a little bit of reshaping along the way. We want them to be as even as possible. If some are a little bit bigger than the other, no worries. But nonetheless, we are done here. It is time to start baking in our oven that we've preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius. We're gonna bake these up for 8 to 10 minutes, checking them along the way. Here we go. So I just wanted to break in real quick here to remind you to smash the like button. Consider subscribing if you're not subscribed, and why don't you tell me in the comments section, do you like Anabutter? Do you have a favorite flavor? Is one better than the other, or do you just refuse to buy it? Let's talk Anabutter in the comments section. All right, back to the video. So I just took the cookies out of the oven. It smells like cinnamon toast crunch, swirly deliciousness everywhere. So good. Do you want to see what they look like? You want to see what they look like? Let's have you see what they look like. This is what they look like. Oh my goodness. Such volume for a cookie. Some are a little bit bigger than others, but no problem there because we're going to account for all the macros because we're probably going to eat all of these throughout the week. Can't imagine there'll be any left over. Anyway, I digress. We're going to put on the topping of the cookie, one of which you can buy, or I'll put in the description. You could make yourself, and it's almost as good. And then we'll make a very simple icing that you don't need to see that any more than you need to see me turn my oven on, but instructions will be below. I digress. Let's get to it so we can get over to the taste test table. Okay, I will show you how to make the icing. It's 12 grams of our Swerve confectioners, very few drops, less than you think you need, maybe 5 drops total. Just gonna make this into a little bit of a simple syrup icing. And then a smidge, like 2 drops of vanilla extract. And you mix that up. And you have your simple drizzle icing ready to go. And then for the topping, and what really makes these super delicious is of course our Anabutter. You can try to replicate this with peanut butter, white chocolate chips, and some cinnamon toast crunch cereal, and it gets kind of close, but I couldn't get it better than a 7 out of 10, so can't release that. Gonna have to stick with this or play around with it yourself. I'll show you the best version that I was able to come up with. I'll put it with the rest of the ingredients down below in the first comment. Here we're gonna use 68 grams or 2 full servings of our Anabutter white chocolate cinnamon swirl crunch, and we're gonna spread it evenly over our 8 cookies. Let's do it. Okay, I've spread 68 grams of the Anabutter across all of the cookies nice and evenly. We are on the money and we are ready to put on our icing, and then you know where we're going next. And we're back at the taste test table yet again to try another high protein cookie recipe, white chocolate cinnamon toast crunch swirl, whatever the name of it is. These are delicious. If you like cinnamon toast crunch cereal and you like cookies, as I said in the beginning, you're going to love this recipe. High in protein, you're using your Anabutter in higher volume, making it just as delicious, spreading it out over the entire week, eliminating that need to maybe binge on it, because anybody who's had Anabutter before knows it comes in a fairly small container and it'll be very easy to scoop out and finish the whole thing. Could probably do it in about 11 to 15 bites, would you say? I don't know, haven't done it. Don't want to go there because I don't even want to count the calories that would be. I digress. Back to here, high volume, lower calories. Could be better than an Anabar, and that's saying a lot from a flavor perspective. Yet, here we are again. We are going to be trying these delicious cookies in a second. I'm gonna let you see what they look like up close. I'm gonna grab this one here, seems to be the prettiest one of the bunch. And you can see in there the cinnamon toast crunch cereal, our icing, the white chocolate from the Anabutter's in there. Oh my goodness, you are not gonna believe the macros when you see them. Just incredible. So with no further ado, let's get right to our taste test. I'm gonna save that one for later and go on the back row to the right side as I typically do. First bite, best bite, every time with this one. Don't care what you say, here we go. Oh, the crunch. You get a little bit of crunch with that cereal. Oh, so good. If you like the white chocolate cinnamon swirl Anabar, I think that's the new name of the flavor. Anyway, if you like that, you're gonna like this. Heck, even if that's not your favorite, you're still gonna like this because it's a cookie. Now, I always say this, it's not a crunchy cookie, but it is definitely an anabolic cookie, and it is absolutely delicious. When it comes to texture, you don't get that crunch except when you get a little piece of cereal. Then it gives you more of almost like that authentic cookie crunch textureness. Either way, every bite is fantastic. You could have these without the Anabutter on top and they still taste pretty good. This takes it to a next level. I'd say the cookie by itself, 8 out of 10. You add the Anabutter on there and it's 9.5 out of 10. No doubt in my mind. Now, if you don't want to buy the Anabutter, I did put a recipe down below in the reply comment that tells you how you can make something that's kind of like it. I couldn't get it to be quite right. It was probably about 7 out of 10, so didn't feel like I could make it an official recipe, but definitely something that will get you by if you don't want to buy the Anabutter itself. But I'm telling you, if you like the Anabutter, you gotta try this recipe. It works perfect. Whew, so good. Getting so excited, I'm out of breath. Second bite. When you have something that tastes as good as Anabutter does, you want to find ways to spread it out, give it more volume. This cookie is definitely one of those ways you can do that. Still enjoy it. If you like Anabars and you haven't tried the Anabutter yet, you're gonna like this. Between this recipe and the protein Oreo donut recipe, we're just finding new ways to use this Anabutter that's not on just a plain old rice cake, which, although good, does not touch either one of these recipes, especially this one. Oh, cinnamon toast crunch swirl cookie. Oh, so good. I'll flash up the macros here so we can take a look and see exactly what's in these. As you can see, they are high in protein, lower in calorie. Like our classic anabolic cookies, they will get better as the week goes on. Great meal prep recipe if you're looking for a snack, something to replace your protein bar with. This is great. You put them in an airtight container, put them in the fridge. They taste even better the next day and even better the next day after that. Just gonna be happier and happier as the week goes on. But it's gonna be about that time. I gotta get up out of here, so I'll see you in the next one. Bye.